side and
10
pressure
seconds remaining.
initially.
Well, I think that the other great thing that you
5
mentioned there is
seconds
pressuring the
remaining.
Alchemist. It's definitely going to be the name of the game here, and with a Tusk on your team, you're already going to be able to troll those bounty runes potentially a little bit more effectively. It seems to me that they have a pretty good lineup for being able to contest at
Prepare
level
for
1 here,
battle.
and I'm curious to see if that Shadow Fiend's going to end up taking a level and raise to be able to fight if he has to.
You 10.1 playing on even time. This is just exercise troll. Sometimes perfect world issue in original accounts. It is as competing game is not tapped up.
And just moving forward, ready to get a little bit fresh with this side over here. Just not afraid of anybody apparently.
I get to with a he can escape from most death. He should, even if he gets blocked, it's over. If there's
30 seconds to battle.
For that kind of early gap movement.
Boots first on the Undying as well, ready to party if he needs to. It does look. Do you think that they're going to run this as an aggressive dual lane?
With I think Undying offers some basically with fair land, but
With Tango's eaten up, they're ready to party now. Acid Spray does drop down. Raise is going to be used as well. Super's dropping a little bit low. Is going to be able to get taken on out there very early. Shadow Fiend meanwhile falling as well. Maybe going to be able to get a kill here on aggressive. He does have the Aphotic Shield. It breaks, and the Morphling gets the double kill. Nicely done there. Continuing to battle now. 3 heroes dead already, and we're seeing more up in the middle of all of them. Wave 4 on through for the triple kill start. Oh, gosh.
Big 8k stack. Never been more like 3 seconds games now.
That was pretty amazing. A good start, and definitely a good way to start the pressure early. I don't think you can get a better start for the Morphling either. 670 gold. Just picking up his boots now as well. He is very, very comfortable.
3-0 kills the Morphling. He got the bounce. Alchemist really let them go for the acid. On 4v5, that would make a difference. Not in the fight they was on the out. There was such a chance to be inside more care. So, all great decision making again in that fight.
I also love right here, out of this Morphling, as soon as the snowball comes in, he waveforms away and then knows the exact distance where he's going to be able to get a second auto attack off on top of the Tusk as soon as the snowball finishes off. So really, really cool there. Also worth noting as well that Tusk is using the VICI gaming set, so a little bit of blood coming out on the set against his team. Pretty good there.
That's a sign for the Tusk.
Definitely. So mid lane, Alchemist doing perfectly fine here. Does have 11 last hits up against the 10 of the Shadow Fiends, so no real pressure is going to be able to be applied until we see some type of rotation over into this lane, I would imagine. It seems pretty good, and coming to contest the rune right from the start, Morphling's going to have to pick up that bounty rune, not going to be able to leave it for his Alchemist friend.
Level 1 sun just not long enough to get out. There's a hate him with now just can't do pick it up as so going towards the lane and she's careful. Going down here, but we can mark and harass.
Certainly. I think that it's always a little bit scary considering you've got Arctic Banana level 2, the Splinter Blast up as well. I feel like a lot of the action is going to be happening up in this top lane here, just being able to see how well Morphling and Undying are going to be able to deal with this sort of snowball combination with Chilling Touch and everything else that comes out from their side.
Importantly to keep gaming, talk may have probably the lane storm bit of fatigue, the off lane also Undying, and that is no way to moving out didn't not so and keep the terrific here in lane.
Yeah.
Finding despite that level 1 CDEC.
Well, the other thing there as well is he's actually been able to block that camp twice now with his body, so still no spawn on this one despite the fact they dewarded it. Pretty nice little play there to make sure that he's able to still get these levels and no pulls will be coming through this day at least. There is a stack up now, so trying to do that whenever they possibly can for their Shadow Fiend to make sure he's able to have some amount of farm as we move forward, and should actually be fine in lane as well though, so that just generally trying to get any type of advantage to build towards an early item so that way they can pressure this Alchemist.
I really like point mate camp. Do 3-2 left, like against swing just pull advantage to have them all actually take away and then Wolfling needs more than and you're
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
can't ID from when they keep pull using this and creep on the game. 10 minutes in, he blocked it once more and just seems in seed. Can't take this duel and staying it by standing it even brief feels like the game quite win or at least lots out of it.
Certainly. The other thing to keep in mind as well is that Undyne, whenever possible, is leaving Morphplane to get a little bit more of that EXP if at all possible. Also, FY moving on through the jungle, going to stack on up for the Alchemist as well, and the Illusion Runes mean that we're going to be getting several stacks going out at the same time. Always nice to be able to get that when you're a hero that wants to be able to start burning into your farm. And speaking of burning, we're having him down in the bottom lane getting relative free farm up against this Abaddon. Not a whole lot that you can do to really contest it at this point, I feel like, with this hero.
Yeah. And it's look at this strategy. Having burn will just at all, like fixing on the case. Like, doesn't necessarily involve much. You can carry that thing. Not the juggernaut until he's level the period. Someone feels can be right? Snowball then turn around, gap, take it to your but in the TP down. Burn is being involved, and also be very careful with that.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit, a lot committed there with the Juggernaut coming in as well, but Morphling now on a dominating streak at just under 6 minutes into this game. He is very, very comfortable with where he's at, and once again, just going to sit by this little magic tree here and block out the camp every single minute he's been able to block it.
I shall find that you're going to go for that 64 where early farming well as a this plan how acting help out like junk farm so big one all by himself. He is very independent.
Well, and now we're starting to see some rotations to potentially deal with this. The Tusk, although only level 2, is going to come down here and try and potentially apply a little bit of harassment. I think that this is the sort of downside of taking the Abaddon to deal with the mid-game Morphling doing a lot of damage. But again, if you're a Gardener at this point, it seems very difficult for you to really contest the farm at all of this Jug, who's already level 6. He did just use the Omni Slash on the Tusk himself, but I don't know, it's difficult.
Yeah, so but as South Blade, just trying to put with Jericho get back 17 does time is at the second sleep then a lot of way if you're gonna go build that way so going to just feel like they play it now.
Yeah, certainly. Another interesting thing, what do you think about Ice Ice's skill build here? He's gone for 3 in wave form, 2 in morph, hasn't really taken any in the adaptive strike yet, planning to save it for the later stages, I guess.
I think so. It's the thing he did yesterday. Morph, and I was like, this is more. You landed, but got wave to farm, and he got a more with damage. It's just got no follow-up damage. It makes me although just come online is like level 7-8 has been waiting and I can go back. he maybe get and wait.
Well, pretty cool there, and it's always good to see some type of innovation. I'll mention as well that finally the camp gets will happen as the Undying Replicate ends up moving on over. We do end up a little bit of a rotation now. They are going to have the Tusk over here, Snowball as well as the Remnant forward. Shadow Fiend with the follow-up race. It should be enough. No, but the Replicate away. Oh, he's going to end up falling to the Shadow Fiend right click from afar. That was close.
Kill. I'm just...
the Replicate away, and then the right click from the Shadow Fiend turned around in mid-air and then ended up falling over to kill him.
I just sent replicate on next day.
I think that he was using
the replicate. That was bizarre.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing I was going to mention about just sort of the whole sort of innovation in the build, 6.85 is a month old tomorrow, so really starting to see several teams come with their own new ideas of what it is that this patch is going to be about. We've been seeing innovative builds across multiple metas, and I'm really excited to see how this continues to expand as we move further into this patch. 4-man smoke up here in the tier 2 tower in the mid. The only person showing is the Ancient Apparition in the lane, so if you're Juggernaut at this point, you might start to get your spidey senses tingling.
Smoke. As well as SF and kill. Here you want to pull up and find and jumping onto the. What is
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Get this one.
Tombstone is down as well. Aggressive taking a little bit more damage. Juggernaut is going to be able to finally finish off the Shadow Fiend. No Requiem death damage onto him through the Blade Fury. The Alchemist meanwhile dies as well as Fenrir chases away the Abaddon. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get the Ember Spirit as he TPs away, and Abaddon making his way out as well.
Bad for basement 4 H. Only
my waters rise.
Before face it. I need to lose too much there. Down up for it. VICI again and get a kill.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, the other thing, you talk about missing out on farming time for the Alchemist, you're also missing out on farming time for the Ember, you're also missing out on farming time for the Shadow Fiend through the whole time that they're smoke ganked over there and moving into position to make it happen. So, yeah, absolutely. And Morphling now starting to move into that level 8. He's going to start to get these more points in Adaptive Strike now. Only one so far, but does have the 4 in waveform, so he can still dole out a lot of damage. And depending upon who he ends up bringing over here, there's the stun. It's just so frustrating to play against. They can maybe get a kill on this Ember.
This is what? F got cinemas now. Back.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Looks like he's doing on an aggressive. Here people in lead.
Absolutely. And while CDEC also are going to be skulking around through the jungle. Tusk in the A. The Shadow Fiend did bottle up a DD, so if people leave this lane, this tower is going to fall very swiftly. And as we were talking about the Wyvern potentially being able to do something, he does rotate back towards that mid lane and leaves alone, at least for the moment, the Ember Spirit. I feel like that rotation was probably more about making sure the Morphling was safe than trying to actually get a kill off as originally thinking.
We're gonna get a muggle on camp. We the best as out. There's lots of people. There's 12 minutes exit. Necessary. Just with the morph able to help. I for the most yeah. The replica need you the more early the on replica. So very much second level. Yeah, pick my
Definitely, and that seems to be able to make a lot of sense there, and I'm very curious how they're going to end up scaling on in the next little bit with it. I do get a couple pings out here. Hunter Blast is going to be able to tear through these creep waves. The Shadow Fiend does activate the DD in the mid lane as well. Doesn't look like they're really going to be able to chase them out of the jungle. I thought that actually we might see the Shadow Fiend stick around. Looks like he's moving up top with the mechanism. I'm just going to leave it alone for now. Kind of odd. I was wondering if he was going to try and push down this tower or maybe try and make something happen up to the top, but so far as the Ice Blast has already been committed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Like
That was a bird.
yeah,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
basically just take
Radiant's bottom tower is under
small
attack.
right on your team. The rep just in I it can play this so now God not this very much aggressive early mode that kills into.
We'll see if they're going to be able to make something happen now. It seems like this would be decent timing to try and make their move. They do have the mechanism up on the Shadow Fiend. He is going to also be able to sit here and apply pressure. Does have the TP scroll if he wants to come over and commit. Snowball on in to FY. There's an A blast. There's several as well. Fury into the middle. Although no, Remnant forward onto FY. He is going to end up playing while the Tusk taking a lot of damage. Little Omni Slash solo onto the Shadow Fiend is going to end up being able to walk away from this one. I do believe no waveform through with the Undying and all of them. So much failing to deal out. Q ends up falling. Alchemist did all of them, and Aggressive might end up falling here as well. Demolishing at this point. VICI Gaming looking very strong.
Okay. Like second. Left, he got double. Smoking the wall.
Dire's
Just
top tower is under attack.
left off. The damage of who has an
Dire's
very
top tower is under attack.
even it with the travel rate up. No stats. Should and but engagement to up in the ball, and that's nothing doing it. Really, not the problem.
Radiant's bottom
Absolutely,
tower is
and they
under
were being
attack.
able, I think I saw 3 waveforms throughout the course of that engagement, just ripping apart the enemy team. We're shooting towards a 10k net worth lead now. The Remnant in the bottom lane, they are trying to find Fenrir here, but he's actually pretty comfortable. Does end up dropping the Tombstone, does have his ulti out as well. The stun's going to connect onto 2 heroes. There's the Abaddon ulti, staying alive a little bit longer, but the zombies are starting to fly. I think that Fenrir might be able to soar up to stay alive. No, not going to be able to do it. They're still all getting chased. Look at this monstrosity. So on down. We need one more TP in to do anything, and maybe a waveform might be able to be enough if he's able to get here in time to take on down Aggressive. Oh no, with Shadow Fiend as well. I think that he needs to back off at this point. Oh, maybe not. He's getting fresh.
We Duke for look. There's no point. Splash. Oh.
Radiant's bottom tower
he
is under
gets-
attack.
Sick again. To say
Radiant structures are fortified.
played him
Radiant's bottom
I-
tower
was
is
it-
under attack.
two.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, it did look somewhat okay for a second, but once they were able to find that
Dire's
Undying
middle
and he came
tower
on
is
out with
under
his
attack.
ulti form, they just were able to burst him down too quickly. Maybe you had the Alchemist there a couple of seconds earlier mid lane. Now actually, oh no, not going to catch with the snowball. Just tosses out a Daft and Striker. Your Truggle. We'll take that. Look at that stun. That's disgusting. But if
Level 3. Walked a bit like oh. Heading it. Just fight. Like,
Battle Fury down on top of the Alchemist. The A-Blast is actually going to connect on anybody except for the Juggernaut. He should be okay for now. Meanwhile, Ice gets initiated on, but he's pretty freaking tanky as well. The Legion of the Alchemist is going to go forward and just start defying that Radiance burn in just a second here. It's just really disgusting. That's actually just the regular Alchemist up in their face now. We have a stun for the Ember Spirit. It kind of doesn't matter because Omni Slash is there as well. It is doing enough damage to the Abaddon. The Ember Spirit does stay alive a little bit longer. Requiem Soul does come out, but it's actually just going to be the Death Requiem. And Burning, oh, he is pretty freaking tanky and hard to deal with. Not going to be able to kill him.
Also, he's taken off down. I think we get never just up so but down she out still the you got Jung you might they're all things on the team. I did wreck time and extra stuff different we have happy to look by them.
Well, they are going to be able to catch up the Alchemist finally, so this is definitely going to be a kill. A little bit unfortunate, but does get off a little replicate there at the end. Well, he's just going to run away as well. I think it's somewhat interesting. You think about the way that this sort of game has evolved into this shape, and a lot of the really intense damage that's been coming out from VICI has been by virtue of the Juggernaut, and I think that harkens back to the fact that they had to run this Abaddon here to deal with the Morphling stun, and because of that they weren't able to really appropriately contest the Juggernaut, and Tusk ended up going up at the top lane and being a support there, so you're kind of in this awkward situation now where you do have the ability to deal with the Morphling stun, but you can't deal with the Juggernaut damage. So it's sort of, you know, a pick your poison situation that hasn't ended up working out super well for them.
Yeah, and for so not be just
Adaptive Strike does have a low cooldown, but not quite that low. Does have a level 3, as we mentioned earlier, and still level 11. Does have that Midas off of cooldown if he wants to go for it. They are sort of stalking here, Burning ready to potentially just jump on top of him. His Omni Slash is up. He is able to find the Shadow here. Maybe going to go for a Blade Fury into a right click. Is he going to have to take him out right here?
Blade I mean, Cosmin should be actually feel like that is 0, but got a Alchemist. And so is that kid gets last month. Alchemist being involved to the giving like him with greed.
Jeez. What a freaking weird interaction. You know, I saw another weird interaction earlier today, or another thing with the Winter Wyvern and Lotus Orb, which was another one that if you Lotus Orb the Winter's Curse, as we watch Roshan fall here, and the Winter Wyvern get applied and dies, it counts as the Winter Wyvern denying herself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, okay. Another little funky thing that all of these strange interactions, you kind of wonder if some of them end up being patched or if they're going to end up remaining the way that they are. Certainly kind of interesting. So Shadow Fiend with the Aegis now does also have that mechanism and building into the BKB very much for a team fighty centric lineup and trying to push, but haven't really been able to make any use of the timings that we've been talking about so far. Do you feel like they're going to be able to have enough here, or is this potentially missing their window?
Window for long with 8 on set. They're gonna kind of level now. But I like the link for the late game until you get set or have 5 big guys. This if someone in this game and they do it, we just get it. Already 10 go dead from behind with an farm, but they haven't anything to. Already got Radiant. It's farming. It's all out of the map is their place has to adapt. Geared.
Fancy feeling.
Burning is going to find the ancient apparition. Now that this stuff starts to happen, it's looking a little bit bleak. And I guess also there as well with the Battle Fury going to be the pickup. Ooh, we might actually end up seeing an engagement here. The stun is going to be coming out from the Alk, is going to end up hitting onto the Abaddon. No emphatic shield this point, and is going to be able to get the amplified damage coming out. Body blocks abound. FY is here as well. The Abaddon ulti has been popped now, potentially wanting to jump back in on top of the Shadow Fiend as well. The mechanism does end up getting out as well. BKB popped. Going to be able to drop Fenrir row, but he do have the Cold Embrace. Keep it on that level. A couple more raises getting tossed on out there in the meanwhile. Juggernaut is just tearing people around from the backside, and now right click down Gardner. He's taking a lot from that Winter's Curse. Is going to get stunned up again by Super, trying to chase away. There's the jump back in, and Ember Spirit now going to make something happen here. Age is still not popped. They are really comfortable, I think, to be able to continue this fight down. Oh, there's going to be another jump forward with the Sleight of Fist, and Burning is going to have to back off here. Oh, maybe going to be able to actually kill the Shadow Fiend. Oh, this is pretty huge. All right, burn through the Aegis. So I think that that's still kind of worth it now for VICI.
Oh, yeah.
They definitely came out ahead.
Bomb slap to it's almost like something that's Aegis, but prevent CDEC from down the Aegis. This is for the Requiem. BKB, and then he was hitting 2 or 3 years. So
Radiant structures are fortified.
and he doesn't be built. He needs to use his.
Have another initiation here. We do have the Tombstone get dropped down. It is going to fall though, and it kind of feels like Kwai needs to get out of here. Oh, okay, just backing off. Nobody really wants to fight. Are they really gonna go for this? All right, Abaddon gets hit by stun. It's gonna take a little bit more Radiance burn. Kind of feel like with their ultis on cooldown, they don't necessarily want, but I guess Winter's Curse is back up again in 10 seconds. Jumping in is going to be Ember Spirit. We do have Winter's Curse up in a second. Izzy's going to be able to stay alive. Force Staff pushing him out of harm's way. Apparently that's the pickup that you need. FY does have it, but not enough mana.
Look at me.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Byron.
Radiant's middle tower is
He
under
keeps
attack.
back in. 9 forward. Series. Nice. Yes, I really be behind this blink. Considering that we see that, I think I'm just gonna look at up. Say that's threat. Something slash.
Oh! The Radiance Bird Morphling, he replicates over! Oh, blink away! Oh, God!
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
His pants.
Oh man, that was crazy. I can't believe he actually got away from that one. Maybe just one more right click would have been enough, but that remnant away followed up by the turnover from this. This is scary stuff we're seeing. Gotta be still my heart here. Also, Morphling now, only 700 gold away from finishing off that Center. Undyne's gonna pick up his Glimmer Cape, the Winter Wyvern as well, the Blink Dagger and Glimmer Cape. It feels like the supports for VICI have really been getting the farm that they've needed and the space to get the items and the levels and just everything.
I've seen that with your offlane. Your offlane's this is huge. Two teams. This replica.
Yeah, that's good. This is not what should be happening. That's great. I love it. So multiple smokes again now. CDEC is going to try and see if they can potentially find somebody. This is going to be 4 heroes down in the bottom lane. But FY burning. backing on out. It does seem like they're going to be safe from this one. I will also mention the several different Blink Daggers that we've been seeing. Ember Spirit has his own. Also, the Shadow Fiend has been able to pick one up also. So, kind of a bit weird. Do you think that this is more to be able to get to position to farm more, or you said earlier that you felt like it was to get into the initiation point of the Ember? Which is the more of?
That. In fact, when you
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
become more valuable. If S has a but no team Blink not very set, but we've got to Blink more. So I think those got something much. I mean that it's playing. I want to keep fighting. I think it's pretty much fine. Yeah, but more look.
Cool. Well, something happened. Definitely out of before it's the potential of the we'll see what situation. Hopefully, have a top dag. I'm centered well. Long ago, he falls in a dag, so he's going to stay. How well Abbott is going to be able to deal with this? And also,
Nothing.
Very frustrated.
Interesting. Out Bill. He does it.
Isn't a really great one to be able to get. Often you just don't want to.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yep.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Consider happen?
Yeah, I think that there's no point to get played right. Yeah.
I think the to be keen on a after to give your Juggernaut, it really is potency of that. I'd love to pull this because we haven't seen that often. I feel like, you know, this is an opportunity to be able to get any of these clunky and wonderful builds with Alchemist.
Oh yeah. So this is me for some like it's really underrated. It's much more why you got the full stuff before the ag. What's farming actually ags first? They were fighting anyways. The was just nice ag. See it, and they're not really using it. Sit there, going for farming at him. Stuff not coming out is
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So now to be made look to big fights and to go out and have that so we've got powers. I will
because if you think about the way you try with these lanes and trying to make both, it often is possible to least keep those and not taking the team fights, trying to farm up as much as you can. And the heroes are somewhat capable. We do have that and for the boots of this time going for the which potentially become a bit less potent. You have Shadow Fiend, who was there, so can able to get to the lane quickly. Is hanging out as we're talking about the same break and then he ends up falling down there. But just those aren't the best at being able to push out those lanes.
Expose yourself. Yeah. Bro. From
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
scouting Sid, they get S6 even. And yeah. Now.
The goal is quickly take now. They So that way, not only all in the he's never die, see being flown out as well right now, I do believe, and interestingly, a clarity on the courier. Not something that you always see there, but pretty cool to have the late game clarity.
Game
Yeah.
really.
There we go. Why not make that value happen? AC is picked up on the Shadow Fiend as well. So an AC for an AC. Also, Ember Spirit has been able to go for the little Chrysalis as well. So a little crit coming out from him. It's not looking all terrible, and they do have a lot of potential to dole out a lot of damage if people are grouped together in a way that VICI gaming might be.
AC for very much not. He goes up. Put a soul crit. So,
Rune of haste.
getting just damage.
Here's a quick question: what if you're Morphling at this point in time? What do you feel like you go with 3,100 gold in the bank?
He's going to see a refresher.
Dire structures
It's
are fortified.
God.
Refresh.
Stun coming out onto 2 Adaptive Strike as well as that Unstable Concoction.
Seconds and 2. Such a.
It's like the mini Doom. Well, they do end up.
It's like. Now.
Well, they just walk right on up to where the Ember Spirit was, not really wanting to gank him, but just here to push on out the scene, and they make sure that they have a creep wave with them. So the Cardi Catapult does end up surviving, as does the range creep, which means they're going to be able to push down this tower and break through that backdoor defense, and potentially even move forward towards the high ground if they want. And honestly, at this point, with the Aegis still on up on the Alchemist, why not? They're moving on up here, and nobody home to contest at this point in time.
So, no, he did not. He will.
Radiant's curse.
Flames goes down.
Yeah, the tombstone's down already. Morphling is gone, so no double tombstone, but
Dire's top
Go back.
barracks under attack.
1,200 gold swing there. The Daedalus is dealing a lot of damage, but they're already out of here. There's the Blade Fear into the TP. Everybody's just TPing away. They walk up casually. That was the most casual barracks take I've ever seen in my life. They're not afraid.
That. And take game 1, spec 3, 2.
So, do you think that this is this really just about the farming power of being able to get the replicate up this quickly, or is that sort of the solid lane decisions and the execution that we've been seeing out of VICI? I guess what I'm wondering is can this be replicated by another team as easily as they've been able to make it happen?
I think the replicate of this got really cool. It seemed like it made that not a that you get of the Undying. The game because they can
Dire's bottom tower is
not
under attack.
because I think it's still secure for playing. Replace dying collision. You pulled lane back. Here, like in the miss.
Yeah. I mean, you think about as well, just are going to be able to jump. Oh my god. This is not what you want to have happen.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
That's disgusting. Just so much damage dealt. We do have the buyback by the Ember as well, so he's going to be on up here, but the Undying and Replicate is ready to party. He did already drop down his Tombstone earlier on in fight, and Remnant is going to be able to make sure that that Ember Spirit's able to get out of it. The Adaptive Strike on top of the two. Oh, maybe going to be able to stay alive is going to be this Abaddon, but I think that it's not going to matter at the end of the day. Like, they're so far ahead right now.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah.
Glimmer Cape up is going to keep him alive. The VICI gaming set of the Tusk does finally end up falling, as does Recif, and Ghost Scepter is going to be able to keep alive that Abaddon. He might not actually end up dying again this game, but I think that the rest of the barracks will. Never mind. Apparently Ice Ice wants to make it happen. GG as if he called. He's just bouncing all over the place.
Well, I just more to get you the see you like show now check all of big land some people